In 1992, 2 years before the freedom, a group of business people got together from the Institute of Directors, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange when I was then president, the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, the South African Institute of Business Ethics, and the South African Chamber of Commerce. And we formed a committee, and we elected Mervyn King as our chairman, hence the King Committee. Just as an aside, I seem to have a habit of overstaying my welcome, because only Mervyn and I are left on the committee from the first two, so it's another one for me to retire from. But what was the aim of this committee in 1992? We felt we needed to address a couple of issues in the country. First of all, South Africa was falling behind and was not competitive with the East in particular. There was an increase in fraud and corruption. People think fraud and corruption is new today. We were worried about it in 1992. There were bankruptcies and retrenchments. And there was great corruption in the country. The business environment was also biased. In 1992, the business environment favored the shareholders, the owners, and gave very little thought to the workers and the other stakeholders. And we also felt that this country needed an entrepreneurial culture, because even in 1992, we realized that if we did not create jobs, we would be in trouble. So the product of that group in 1992 was what was then called King One. If I could just brag for a second, the problem with King One, it was produced by a group of volunteers. But who were we? We produced the paper, and then what? We then came up with the idea, and it took me a lot of persuasion, that disclosure of compliance or non-compliance with King One would become a listings requirement on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And that's what gave King One traction. I picked up a lot of resistance because most of my committee said, we regulate a market. We don't regulate the companies on the market, but we did succeed. And now 14 years later, as you'll hear from Hansi, we have King 4. And the difference now is that King 4 not only applies to listed companies, but also to entities under the PFMA, and particularly importantly today, non-profit organizations. There's a supplement on NPOs. Now, you might say, well, was King 2 and 3 a waste? Only it applied to listed companies? The answer is no. Because what has happened is when cases have gone before the courts, and the courts have had to say, did the trustee act appropriately, or did the director act appropriately? If there was nothing in law, the judges have turned to King 1, 2, and 3 and said, that's what we expect of the trustee or the director. So King 1, 2, and 3 have become part of our company law.
The first big corporate collapse, South Sea Company. South Sea Company was incorporated in 1711 to trade with the Spanish colonies in South America, in slaves mostly. Southeast Company was really boosted by the English government as the company to support it. It really wanted the British gentry to invest in its stock. So what they did is that King George became the governor of South Sea Company to make the prestige and confidence. And 2 years subsequently, the House of Lords granted South Sea a monopoly, subject to the understanding that South Sea would guarantee the debts of the British government. So if ever a company was set up to succeed, South Sea was it. But we now know history repeats itself. The predictable happened. Massive speculation in the stock of this company started exactly because of this boost to its confidence and its success. The speculation happened to such an extent that the stock price went from £100 stock to £1,000 in less than 6 months. As with all bubbles, this bubble burst. The Chancellor of the Exchequer was found to have taken bribes to inflate the stock price. British gentry lost their fortunes. Banks failed. And directors went to prison. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It sounds all too familiar. And what the issue is, and this story illustrates the issue with corporate governance. Corporate governance centers around the agency risk. Corporate governance is a term that we've known for a long time. In fact, corporate governance is, the idea of it, is as old as trade itself. This is what Adam Smith had to say after the South Sea collapse. And Adam Smith, as you know, is regarded by most as the father of modern economics. He basically said in that quote that a person cannot be trusted to look after the assets of another person as well as you would look after your own assets. That's it. That's the crux of corporate governance. South Sea Company was a company that was incorporated by charter by the British government. For people who traded, private people who traded, there were really two forms of in which one could trade before the 18th century. And that was, the 19th century. And that was basically sole tradership or trading in something of a partnership. Then what happened in the 19th century, in 1850 roundabout, the French started even sooner in 1807, is that this wonderful invention was enacted. An invention called the Limited Liability Company. The issue before the Limited Liability Company was established, enacted, was that those private traders who traded in partnership or sole proprietors, when their businesses went bust, their personal assets were at risk too. And in fact, creditors were entitled to claim all of their personal assets, throw them into debtors' prison, and their families had to work back their liability. So those were the conditions under which private traders worked.
But there's an issue that really bothers me and worries me. And to come to that issue, I just want to quote two things or three from what we've been sharing with us. First is the quotation of Milton Friedman, where he says the social responsibility of business is to increase profits. Increase profit. Now, I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at CEOs of companies vis-a-vis the members of the government boards. And we know that in many instances, the boards don't meet frequently. Maybe 11 times a year at the most, which is once a month. So how can you really ensure that members of the boards, especially given the fact that you find people who are involved in many boards and all that, have got an intimate knowledge of the business of the company, to be able to make sound decisions in terms of, for instance, issues like remuneration of the CEOs. Because first and foremost, the general norm of practice is that if a company performs well, the CEO, will be remunerated well. And at times, to the extent where you find his package is almost 100 times annual package of the ordinary workers. And we're seeing a trend in South Africa where the gap between the lowest paid worker and the highest paid is becoming bigger and bigger, because of that. So how do we then from the governance point of view, ensure that CEOs, don't focus on short-term profitability of companies where they can generate high incomes and then leave the company at a point where they know that maybe it's about to collapse and on. And we find a lot of some of these CEOs who are known to be experts in turning around the company, but they don't stay long, to be able to see the outcome of or long-term profitability of companies.
Ansi, you gave us a lot of food for thought. There used to be a TV or radio program which was Be Afraid, Be Very Afraid. Do you remember that? And when you get to corporate governance, be afraid. The things that Ansi is talking about is not theory. I'll quickly share with you 2 war stories. Last week, I was chairing an employee trust in Port Elizabeth. It's got 600 million rand. We looked at the investment list. Number 1, British American Tobacco. Number 2, AB InBev breweries. Now that's the best investment we can make for the staff of this particular company. But should we be investing in tobacco and brewing? That's the sort of challenge you face. And the next one is absolutely true. I was naughty while Ansi was talking. I opened my email. An email from the IDC saying, Mr. Henderson, you chairman of the Remuneration Committee of ABC Company, we're coming to the AGM next Thursday. Please will you answer the following questions, particularly on the CEO's remuneration. So this is real, this is live, and these models, taking it all the way through, is what business is doing every day. And the thing that frightened me the most, Ansi says, you cannot say to the judge, I didn't know. And you can't say to the judge, I was only the colonel in the room. If you're only the colonel in the room and you disagree, then you voice your disagreement, you get it minuted, and if need be, you resign. Now that could be career limiting, but that might be an extreme case.